Hello, and welcome to A Cup of SpiritualiTea. We are so glad that you are here. Now, this is a space where spirituality feels like having a cozy chat over a cuppa with friends. And each month, we will explore topics that you've been asking about, from grounding and connecting with angels to understand chakras, crystals, guides, and so much, much more. And we'd love for you to say hello in the comments, like this video, share it with anyone who'd enjoy it, and let us know your thoughts and questions. This show is all about you, your curiosity, your journey, and your growth. And if we don't get to answer your question in this episode, don't worry. It may become a topic of a future show. You know, we're here to create a community of learning, connection, and exploration. Most importantly, this is a safe, judgment-free space where everyone is welcome to share and grow.
Yeah, so as Ray's saying, what we really want to do, those people who work with me already say, hey Kathy, because you're one of the tribe. Yeah, it's all about wanting to create a tribe. It's all about wanting to create a community in which we can learn and grow together. And it's just where like-minded souls can get together and discuss anything spiritual that takes their fancy. Um, and it's really important that we find that sisterhood or that brotherhood and that we're able to create together. It's all about New Earth is all about co-creation. And that's why spaces like this are so important. And there's such an energy and there's such a power that grows. And when people gather, and that's when the magic happens. And that's what we want to be doing. We want to be creating magic. So tonight we're going to be talking about spirit guides, who they are, what they do, how we can communicate with them, and much more. But before we do that, it might be a good idea if we introduce ourselves. So, Ray, did you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yep, certainly. I'm Ray, and I'm a spiritual guide and healer. And I'm passionate about helping people reconnect with their divine presence and step into their purpose. So, through angelic Reiki guided meditations and exploring past and future lives, I support others in healing their past and creating a soul aligned future. Now, my journey has taught me that with the right tools and guidance, we can all connect to our higher selves, embrace transformation, and live a full and abundant and fulfilled life. And I'm here to hold space for you as we explore spirituality together in this safe and supportive community. And Sally?
Well, as some of you know, I've always been a psychic and I've always been able to see angels, and that kind of grew a lot as I got older. And when I had kids and they got that little bit older, everything just sort of kick-started. So I give psychic readings, but my passion is empowering women. For me, it's all about empowering women to be the best women they can be. I work with women mostly. I facilitate women's circles. I'm a trauma-informed body coach. And the idea is that counseling only goes so far. And then trauma is stored in the gap between the cells in our bodies, and it can cause things like fibromyalgia and other autoimmune conditions, which I actually have been diagnosed with. And through going on this course, it took a year, but I've learned the different somatic practices. So the sort of the practices to do with movement and releasing trauma from your body, but also going back down the ancestral lines and helping heal ancestral trauma, because that is stored in our cells and in the gap between our cells and our bodies as well. As I mentioned before, I also give psychic readings, and I channel Mary Magdalene and facilitate Mary Magdalene groups and training. And I also channel a star being named B. So basically, if it's anything psychic, anything like that, I can turn my hand to most things. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Oh, as are you, as are you. We're all incredible. We're all creating this magic future together. Seriously, we all rock. Right. I
We
think we
do
want to talk about a
so.
topic.
Yep. So, if
So,
everyone you want to settle in with your favourite cuppa,
yes.
and let's dive into this month's topic, spirit guides.
Yeah, I was having just want to talk about my tea first. It's a pucker tea and it's from my friend Anne Marie. We've both got matching advent calendars, pucker tea advent calendars. So that was yesterday. So thanks, Anne Marie, when you watch this on recording.
Ah,
Watch it.
excellent.
Please, Emery, watch it on recording.
And I love the Christmas cup.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah,
Like, we ought
mine's
to do
m
theme
mine's
cups.
angel
But
wings.
that's perfect as well. But we ought to do, yeah, theme cups. We need to do this.
We do.
So, spirit guides. The first thing we ought to talk about is what are spirit guides. So now everyone has their own view on all of the things I'm about to talk about, or Ray and I are about to talk about. And all views are welcome and all views are valid. It was just like that thing that went through Facebook. Somebody had a dress, and some people thought it was red, and some people thought it was purple. It's still a dress, but you can't decide which color it is, and that's kind of a little bit what this is all like. So, in to my knowledge, spirit guides have had lots of incarnations on Earth as human beings. And obviously they've passed over. And because of this, they're very spiritually evolved and they've chosen to serve mankind with their unique talents and skills, which they've learned through many lifetimes. You have My nose always starts itching when I start talking about stuff like this. It's really strange. Um, and yeah, you get different levels of spirit guides. So you might start off with something like one of my first guides was from the Order of Merlin. And then I had a Native American, and then gradually they kind of, I don't want to say go up the ranking, but that they have different skills and abilities. And now my main guide is actually Mary Magdalene, and it's her who I work with a lot. Something people always ask about is how to connect to your guides. And it might start by you're noticing things like little feathers or little coins when you're out walking, and you look it up and you realize that angels or guides are wanting to communicate with you. And then it's like, what happens next? What do you do next? So what I would advise is meditation. Now, it doesn't mean you've got to sit silently and you've got to and you've got to just sit and be within yourself. That is the first stage. So it could be a park bench on your lunch break. It could be when I first started out, I used to only have about half an hour once a week before my son came home from school. And if I wanted to meditate during the day, I had to do it somewhere I couldn't be seen because the children would find me. And there's a
Use the
gap behind my
bathroom.
So there's a gap behind my dining table and the wall and the radiator. And I used to sit in this tiny little gap, and the only people could see me with the dogs. And that is where I had to do it because there's nowhere else. Or otherwise, Mum, can you, I need Lou. Mum, can you change my sock? So that is what I used to do, have this little hidey hole. Um, and then I used to meditate, and this is quite a good idea. It's my friend Shirley Batty, who's my mentor, and she'll be watching this on record. She said about meditating at the same time each day or the same time each week, and spirit will show up. And that's exactly what happened. Eventually, they got into the routine of it, and I'd sit down on the floor by the radiator, by the dining table, and spirit would be there waiting. They'd be waiting to communicate. Um, and then another thing I do is I play this, or I used to play the same piece of music that was 11 minutes long. And then my body got into that rested state for spirit to come through. And 11 minutes was the key because I knew when that song had finished that I had a few minutes left and then Tom will be home on the bus. So, and it wasn't like, how long have I meditated? Have I been too long? How much of time have I got left? When the song finished, that's when I knew.
Yeah,
So
and routine is so important when you're doing any kind of spiritual work. When you're first starting to actually get into that energy, that space, and you, even if you kind of like say, yeah, but I don't have time to spend that 10 minutes to actually every day to sit at a time and do this. Well, do you use the bathroom at a regular time every day? Do you clean your teeth at a regular time of day? Do you have a shower at a particular time of day? Or even if it's not that particular time of day, every time you get into the shower, you use that as your time to get into that meditative state, to connect
Yeah.
with your guides. So yes,
Yeah.
it's good if you can do it on a regular basis every day, but if there's something that you do, like a shower or cleaning your teeth, use that.
Yeah.
That way you've still got the time to do it, and there's no excuses then.
Yeah, it's about it shouldn't be a chore, because if it's a chore, then you're going to start stressing about it and spirit won't come through. You need to be in a relaxed state. So I mean, my favorite time is when I'm having a coffee. But in fact, people who work with me will know that's what I use for a lot of things for mindfulness. Drink a cup of coffee, relax, look out of the window, be at one with yourself. And that's enough. So it's that 3 minutes in your day. So it doesn't even take dedication, it just takes a coffee habit.
Yeah. Or before you get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, or as quite often will be the first time I need to use the bathroom in the morning. That's my cue to kind of like and get ready for the day.
If I did that, I'd be meditating all through the night, getting up to go to the loo all
Well,
night.
yeah, I do have to be
Menopause.
careful that, this is the last time I get up, the not the early morning time. This is getting up at a normal time.
Oh dear. So how does spirit communicate with us? So sometimes they will give you an image in your mind, like a metaphor. Sometimes they will give symbols. Sometimes you'll get a feeling that they're there, and you'll get like a feeling like they're tapping your shoulder. Or other times you just get a knowing. You didn't know the answer before, and suddenly you just know it, and you don't know how that answer got there, and it's a dead cert, you know that answer, and that is from spirit. But there are other ways that spirit can communicate with you when you're not meditating. I've had it where, um, do you know what? I had it just this morning. Um, it was on the radio, and they were talking about wishful thinking. Just I went to visit Shirley today, driving there, and so wishful thinking, right? So they talk about wishful thinking like it's a negative thing. Oh, that's just wishful thinking. What if it's the opposite? And it's had the negative spin, wishful thinking. That is when we think to wish, we're thinking to manifest, and they've just put this negative spin on it. Maybe wishful thinking is the way we all need to be,
Yeah,
connecting with the energy and wishing for things for our greater good, or for the world's greater good, and wishful thinking. And that just came through because the presenter on the radio mentioned it, and then my guide was like, no, this is what that really means, and the meanings got lost over the years. So
yeah.
so they come through that way. I always get it. I used to have a Mazda Bongo, which I loved, but she died and went to sort of car heaven. And that's my good luck charm. Whenever I see a bongo um, on the road, which because they're quite a rare car, I know I'm going to get good luck, or I know the angels are thinking of me. So you'll find there's little good luck charms like that. Have you got any of those, Ray, where you just when something happens like a feather or coin, that's your sign that you're gonna.
Mine is kind of like more that I kind of like will trip up. It's like it's not something obvious like that. It's like, oh, I trip up. But also, that's just one of the things. There are many different things for different things. Like if I know my dad's connecting or coming through, then there's a certain song that will come, that I will hear a certain song, and I know that that is my dad letting me know he's about, because that song is what I have always have associated with him. So yeah, it's you need to be aware that there's so many different ways that
Mhm.
you will know that spirit is connecting to you.
Yeah.
Whether it is through you see a car, you hear a song, you trip up, um, you burp, you know,
Yes.
out of nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
you've been thinking about, oh, you know, you know, I want to really connect to my guide, and I'm not sure, you know, I'm thinking about this, and then suddenly you burp out of nowhere, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's your guide there. So something that's not normal, but
Yeah.
you recognise as can be a good indication that your guide is there waiting, you know, wanting to connect with you and pointing you in the
Yeah.
direction of where to find the answer to whatever question it is you've been asking about.
Yeah. And also scent. Sometimes when in the groups, when Mary Magdalene comes through, we smell the scent of roses. So sometimes scent is used also, and dreams.
Mm,
When you get those dreams that aren't those weird ones where you know you're just processing your day and it's like you're really there and that it's an actual legit dream, that is often how people who've passed over will communicate with you. Which is a lovely one to know that when I've sometimes in readings people ask me, um, oh, I dreamt about my mother last night. Does that mean she was there? Yes, it does. Yes, it does mean she was there. That was the only way she can communicate with you. So yes, yes, it does. It's just beautiful to know that that veil is so thin that we can communicate. I know we're supposed to be on spirit guides, really, but communicate with people who've passed over. Before
yeah.
I carry on, I want to just respond to Kathy's comment. Yes,
Yes,
wish
she
filled
said.
thinking. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Kathy,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Yeah, that is it in a
It
nutshell.
It is, you know, and anyone else who's watching, you know, if you've got any questions you want to ask about connecting to spirit guides, then ask. You know, this is your time to ask us questions that we can help answer for you. You know, so take this opportunity to ask questions. Put us on the spot. You
Yeah.
know, we're more than
Find
happy
us something we
to.
can't answer.
Then we say we can't answer it, and
No, we
we
can. No, but we can. 'Cause Spirit will come through us and we'll be like, and we'll be able to answer it.
exactly, exactly, and we always circle back anyway for anyone who's watching this on the replay that might come up with the question.
Yeah.
You know, just type it in the comments because we will circle back to answer any questions. So there you go. Catherine has said, do you find that different guides communicate in different ways?
Do you want me to start or did you want to start? I'm happy
Uh,
to.
it depends on how you work. Um, this is this is how I've come across it. Some people will have their guides connect in the same way all the time, but other people I know will have their guides connect in different ways. For me personally, my guides, I'm more into angels connecting with me than guides, but we're doing angels on
Hi,
another
Fresh.
on another. Hi, Presh, great to see you on another on another show. But they will always come through as an energy, and I will feel that energy, and that energy will be slightly different depending which angel it is that's actually coming through for me. And again, it's like if my dad wants to communicate with me, he will come through via a particular song. So yes, for me, there are subtle differences, but they're not obvious ones. What about you, Sally?
Well, for me, different guides do communicate in different ways. So first of all, when I work with Mary Magdalene, I'm just filled with a sense of love. And I will often smell rose petals. And when I first started working with her, she was quite bossy, and I've got to get this done by then, and then she kind of seemed to understand how my life was, and now she gives me an end result I need to get to, but she's more laid back about how I get there. and she knows I'm working as hard as I can. When I get someone like Lord Katumi through, he's coming through because he has a message he wants us to know, and he wants me to channel it, and he wants it out there. And to be honest, it makes me feel, I feel like a little bit like I'm in school, and I've been asked to read out loud, because he's quite a force to be reckoned with. And I feel that he'd normally communicate with sort of more high-powered people than myself. So, but if he's got something he wants people to know and it be told in a really simple, easy to understand way, then he'll pick me for something like that. And it's quite wordy. And it's like, I've got this, I need you to do it, and you've got to do it in this way, and I want you putting it this in this and this way. And then when you get people like my Order of Merlin guide, um he will take you on a journey, and you'll learn it through looking at different scenes and different images. And it's and there's often like dragons or unicorns and different things like that, and mystical things involved. So I would say that each guide communicates in a different way. All of them do. Just like we have different personalities and different things we like, they're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it is down, each individual will, you speak to a medium, any platform medium, and they will each have a different way of how the guides are can connect with them. Some they just always see them. Some are, they'll know that if they get a certain sense of something, it means something
Yeah.
to them. When I get those energies come in, I ask, can you confirm who this is? And then, they tell me, and I know.
Mm.
And again, and we'll talk about this on another show, it's the different clairs, so
Yeah.
I'm very much a knowing person. It literally is, oh, I've got that energy there. Who's that energy? Oh, it's that.
I tend to be a mixture of them all, really, but that's something we can go into in a different thing. I seem to use all of the clairs, and it's a bit like an
Yeah.
ice cream
So
sundae or something.
I think
Bit
we
of
all
everything.
do, but I just think that's
Some are more dominant.
some are more dominant than the others. Because if we didn't use all our senses, we wouldn't be
Mm.
human.
Yeah, 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 you're right. And so another question somebody asked me was, how do we know the guides are there? So if we're not meditating and they want people want to know, or when you are meditating, how do you know if you can't see them? Well, different people experience it in different ways, but you can have things like your scalp tingling. I often find that, and it feels like the hair. Oh, you're welcome, Kathy. Your hair on your head standing on ends, or goosebumps, ringing in the ears. And sometimes when it's somebody's passed over, you get the lights flickering around. And sometimes for example, if you go to a sacred site, and you can feel the energy, but you can't see
Mm.
anything, and somebody takes photos, when you get home, you realize there are orbs in the photo that you didn't see
Yeah.
while you were
Or
there.
or a shadow or a shaft of light
Yes,
or
yes,
and anything that comes down. And everyone who's watching as well, if you already connect with your guides, let us know how they connect with
yeah,
you. That'll be really
yeah,
fascinating, and that will help anyone who's watching who's not sure if they have actually had a guide communicate with them. Your explanation of how you know that you're connecting with guides, they may go, oh, actually, that's how I know. So, help your other people out. Oh, and Sandy
it's
said,
Sandeep.
I've been seeing number 111222 on clocks for years, but the last 2 months this has changed to also include the time 1333 and the number 333, and in things that's 555 a lot too. I think this is spirit communicating, but is it guide or guides?
You may have a different view to me, but I would say it's your angels with all
Yeah,
of those
I would
numbers.
say, yeah, when it comes to numbers, I would always say that's more angels coming through than guides, because remember, angel guides and I'll just very touch with brief because we are going to have another term, have never had a human incarnation. There's only ever 2 archangels that have ever had a human incarnation, but angels have never had a human incarnation. So one of the easiest ways of them connecting to us is with numbers. So yes, Sandeep, you've got angels trying to connect with you with those numbers, which is absolutely amazing.
It's worth looking at. I don't know it, but it's worth looking at what the numbers mean, because the different numbers have a different energy and they mean different things. I don't know if you know it, Ray, but I don't.
Not off the top of my head, but also remember that different angel workers, the numbers could be slightly different to whatever the meaning is. It's like everything. So like Doreen Virtue, when she was doing, say, Carl Gray, they might talk about the same archangel, but there'll be a slightly different twist on it. And it's the same with numbers. When you look numbers up,
Okay.
some people will say, well, it's definitely this, and other people will say it's that, because that's the information they've been guided to. Not one number, one explanation of a number is not wrong or right. It's just
Right.
that it's been relayed to them on a different vibration, so
Right.
that more people will understand it. Because there are people that love Doreen Virtue who would take that would ignore Carl Gray, and vice versa, and any other person out there. But the reason for that is because different people resonate with different with different people, hence why when you look things up online, or what does 2 to 2 mean, you go with what you feel is right
Right.
for you,
What resonates.
what resonates. That's the word for you. Yeah. So
That's
you might
brilliant.
see 2 completely different things with numbers. Which one resonates with you most? And that's the one where you get your answer.
So it's kind of like oracle cards in a way, oracle card meanings. I never knew that about the numbers, that different ones. Hey Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Um, I never knew that about the numbers. Oh, you're welcome, Sandeep. That's really interesting. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and it's the same with everything, with guides, angels,
Yeah,
robins,
yeah.
any symbol.
Symbology,
find
yeah.
you'll find that there's different meanings on there, and you go with what resonates with you the most.
Oh, that's interesting, Kathy.
Okay, so Kathy says, when I see numbers, it's generally for me a confirmation of what I might be feeling or thinking or experiencing at the time. Absolutely. Again, what resonates with you, what feels right for you. And Sandeep
Yeah,
says, I'll look the numbers up and see what I feel resonates with you. Definitely do.
brilliant. Oh, I know. Do you know what? I feel like our community is building already.
I
It's
know.
gorgeous. Do you know what? When I suggested to you about doing this, um, this is how I envisage it to be. That we don't just sit and talk, although we are doing it, but everyone joins in and it becomes, we're building an online community, and I'm just loving this. I just want to
Yes.
thank you guys for commenting and stuff, and for contributing, because this is gorgeous. We're making magic already.
Yep.
It's like we're gonna, like, by next month we'll be like Harry Potter, we will. At the moment we're like Ron Weasley, and then by January we'll be like Harry Potter. And when we're
Although
8, then
technically,
we'll be Hermione Granger.
in the books, Ron was actually more magically aware than Hermione Granger in the films. They just made her character
Uh,
a bit more. She was book smart, but she came from a Muggle family, so she didn't know with the magical background that Ron did. So the movies actually made him less than he was
yeah,
in the books. Just thought I'd throw that one in there. Bit of Potter
it's really
stuff.
good. I've actually read the books and never even thought of it that way either. Because I'm always like the women's the best, and girl power. And talking of which, Dolly Parton Christmas jumper.
I actually saw
So I said
her.
all about.
I saw her Christmas show. Was it last year or the year before? Because she wrote a
Oh yeah,
Christmas
Have a Holly
show.
Jolly Christmas.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
absolutely amazing.
Amazing. She is amazing. She absolutely is. She's the person, if I had a choice about anyone to give a reading for in the world, I would want to give a reading for Dolly Parton. She, without a shadow of a doubt. And Johnny Depp.
That goes without saying.
Oh, thanks, Sandeep. Right. So I thought we ought to talk about, is it my guide or is it me?
Yes.
Dun dun dun. Because often when we meditate, we're not sure whether we can trust what we're getting through. Oh, thanks, Presh. We're not sure what we're getting through is us, our ego, or whether it's our guides. So the first rule is spirit first, ego second. When you're meditating, it will be spirit. Don't second guess yourself. It will be. And there's ways you can know, like it's a dead certainty the information that's come through and you don't know how it got there. Often you'll get warm fuzzies, then when they start to come through and you just, you feel like it's a gorgeous hug. And then they'll use often vocabulary that either you don't know or ones that you don't normally use. Like the other day when I was working with a lady, the word lignin came through, and it's about being strong like a tree. And lignin is something that something to do with tree cells that makes wood and makes them stronger. And that is a word that most definitely is not in my vocabulary. And the other day it was morphic field. Things that there's no way that was look to me. There's no way I'm going to know words like that. So that's another reason and it's also the phraseology they use. It's not your phraseology, and maybe the slang words you use a lot, and they're not using any slang. And that information, whatever's coming through, is correct because you wouldn't have it you wouldn't have it otherwise. It wouldn't have gone into your head. You're not going to sit and meditate and then second guess your own answers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
No, and also another way is how the information is coming through. If it's coming through in a loving way, even if you're being
Good
told off
one.
by your guides,
Mhm.
it will be done in a loving way. If it's ego-based, it will be more negative and
Yeah, you're right.
it'll feel a little bit icky. So that's another way of
Yeah,
distinguishing between ego and spirit. Spirit will always come through with a positive slant, even on something negative, and they will talk to you in a kind but stern way. They
yeah,
won't bring you down or say anything negative about you.
yeah. Right. How are we doing for time? Because there was one more question that people asked, but
We've
do we
got
need to
we've got
move on?
time. We've got
You
time.
sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Hey, it's our show. We can go as long as short as we want.
Okay. All right, lovely. I'll do it then. So people are asking about questions you can ask your guide. So the easiest one is tell me what I need to know at that moment, and they will tell you if you want to know, like, should I take this job or should I not take job? The first thing is that's quite a closed question. So you could say, if I took this job, what would the end result be? What would my life look like? So if you keep it as open and as wide as you can, that's giving them the room to give as much information or give you any little nuances they can. Whereas, should I take the job? You're just going to get a yes or a no. Or if you're overthinking it, that is when your ego could step in. So there's other ones like, why have we chosen to work with each other? That's always a nice one. Like, what's made you decide to come and work with me? And they'll tell you what it is. Like, one of my guides was she's like a wild woman who sort of is foresty type, and she's like, you need to be more strong. You need to be more self-reliant, and that was why she came through. Don't keep relying um getting your sense of self from others. You need to get it from within. That kind of thing. Other questions you can ask are, how's my spiritual development going? Can you recommend any tools to help me take it further? Um, what can I do right now to aid my spiritual growth, or what can I do right now to improve my situation at work? What's your sign to let me know you're around? And if you're brave, you can ask, what lesson are you here to help me learn?
Yeah, absolutely.
They will
And
tell you.
Catherine says, yeah, that's a wonderful tip. Keep it open. When we douse, it's yes or no. When it's not
Yeah,
really not so black and white.
that's it,
It's like
Kathy. Yeah.
sin. You really want to try. Yes, it's a yes or no, but you really want to try and still have an open-ended, question with it, so that you can get more information and go deeper on it, and if you are sort of like thinking, well, I'm asking those questions, I'm meditating, but I'm still not getting any answers. Brilliant tip that I've kind of like used, but it was Courtney Levin's, I guess, as someone, I guess, on a previous show, and she said, write down your question before you go to sleep on a bit of paper
One.
and just ask, my spirit guides, my angels, I would like to know if I do such and such, would I, or whatever open-ended question it is.
What is the end result? What
Yeah,
would the
what is
end
the
result
result? And thank you for giving me those answers whilst I'm asleep. And that I will remember when I wake up in the morning. And literally, when you wake up, before you go to the bathroom or whilst you're going to the bathroom, which is what I quite
be?
often have to
The
do.
bathroom thing again.
I know. It's like, oh, okay, yes, I've had that, but I must make sure I write that down whilst I'm in the bathroom. So keep a pen and paper, or even just keep a little dictaphone or your phone. If you sleep with your phone in your room, whatever, hit that record button.
There's one thing that I meant to mention about how do you know if it's your spirit guide or you. I used to, when I first started, give me something I can Google, say to them, give me something I can Google, and then you'd know for sure. So the first time I did it, they said this word Astrala, and I thought, oh, they're just saying Australia because I'd been watching a documentary on it the night before. But I Googled it, and there was an artist who had done a painting called Astrala, and the painting was identical to the image they had shown me in the meditation. And that was how I 100% knew that, yes, I'm working with my guide. And after a few of those, I learned just to completely trust.
Yeah, yeah. And again, it's the practice. Just
Mm.
keep practicing. If you don't get any answers straight away, don't give up. Just keep practicing, and eventually you will get those answers. Know that you're going to get them. Be open to getting them, and just keep practicing. They will come eventually. Just that some of us are slower than others.
Oh, thanks, Kathy. And am I allowed to mention, thank you, Kathy. Am I allowed to mention about oracle cards in this? I know we probably do another topic. Can I just briefly mention that
Yeah,
you
because
can,
that's probably the same thing that
and
came into my head as well. But yeah, as we briefly mentioned angels, yeah, we do need to briefly mention about the oracle
so
cards
you can use oracle cards, and are we allowed to plug cards? They're not my own. They're somebody's that I find really useful.
if you want.
Well, I'm going to do it. Colette Baron Reed, Wisdom of the Oracle. They're a red box. Oh no, I've put them away. I was gonna because I use them for teaching. So they're the ones that I found that if you have a question you need an answer to, they're very easy to read and you'll get an answer every time, the correct answer. You
Yeah,
will do. They're such a good one to use. There's lots of decks for lots of different things, which we will talk about in another session. But just if you're stuck, when I started out, that is what I used to do.
yeah, yeah. Cards are an absolutely brilliant thing to actually use. So, are there any more questions that anyone wants to ask about spirit guides? Please do put them in
Yeah,
in
please.
the comments. I can see we've got quite a few people watching, so um you know
Even if you just want to say hello, it'd be lovely because I can't see how many people are watching. If you just put hello, it'd be really nice to see you, and then I can say hi back.
Yes,
Just
yeah,
the, like when you're on a boat and the joy of you're on a boat and everyone waves to you and you wave back just because you're on a boat and it's the joy of being on a boat. Isn't it a bit like that? It's a joy of just like, oh look, I'm on a computer screen, wave to me and I'll wave back.
exactly. So we've had Catherine, Fresh, Sandeep, Jane. Um, yeah, nobody else has said hello or asked us a question yet. Don't be shy.
I'm just gonna cry.
Yeah, we just like a little hello would be. But whilst we're waiting for those questions and everything to come in,
Shall I talk about the current energies?
yes.
Yeah, all right, we will do this. So I thought what I'd do each month, those of you who come and see me in person in my little cabin, will know that I do this from time to time, kind of monthly, and let you know what's going on with the energies. Oh, thanks, Jane. Thanks, Kathy. So, oh, Angela, hello. Thank you, my love. Um, right, so energies this month. So, we started after Sound, so about the 2nd of November, we started to get that feeling of wanting to go within for the autumn, and the idea that the trees shed their leaves and they kind of have a few months off in the winter, and so should we. That is gonna sort of continue. But on the 21st, the energy of the solstice is going to enable the energy to rise. And obviously, after the shortest day, we get the longer days after. And that's going to bring the light and joy of Yule into our hearts. You know, that in the olden days they'd bring in a Yule log, an actual log, and they'd put pine cones and bits of fir and stuff in it and bring in the light. That energy, yes, Jane, they are calming down. So that energy is going to be building, so that as well as going within, we've got that the joy we're getting back that joy, because things have been quite discombobulating recently. I know it's
Mm.
probably planetary and something's in retrograde or whatever. Retrograde? Mercury's in retrograde or whatever. I don't
Oh,
even
and
follow any of that
Pluto's been
stuff.
moving, and yeah, it's all.
I know that's why you're here, Ray, because I know none of that stuff, but I just can feel the energies. But what I know that the way to counteract it at the moment is to take some time to find that joy in your lives. And the opposite of triggers is glimmers. So it's about recognizing those glimmers. Like today, I was walking the dogs and there's a smell of wood smoke, perfect cup of coffee, and use these little experiences to fill up your spiritual cup. And that's going to help you moving on to Christmas. And the energy of Christmas is more about giving yourself permission to treat yourself, like an extra 15 minutes lay in. Allow yourself, oh, it's time to bring it back, my love.
It is.
Um, like having some time without your devices. I'm such a sado. I bought in the November, whatever sales they're called, a set of beautiful colouring pencils, and I'm doing mindful colouring. And it's angels. You like that, right? It's angels.
Yep.
And it's, it's childish, but I love it. And it really is bringing me joy just for a few minutes a day. And then it's kind of linked to what I was talking about earlier. It's time to build up our sense of selves for ourselves rather than from getting it from what other people think of us. And it's about visualizing this strong core going through our body like a trunk of a tree, enabling ourselves to feel supported from within and unaffected. Oh, Angela, feel unaffected by the energies around you. Once you build that tree, into your system, you'll find it's like a tree in a storm. You won't even rock that much. It's all going on around you, but you're stable within. And this is a great tool that really is can really help us navigate this weird experience we call life, and all these weird energies and all the stuff on social media and all that. And if you're able to do that and to get that strength from within, then that's going to help you with what's going on without. Oh yes, Kathy. Yeah, I guess that fits, doesn't it, with me and the colouring? I was quite embarrassed to admit that actually, that my name's Sally and I'm a mindful colourer, but I am.
I've got a book, mindful colouring books. I like doing jigsaws.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my Christmas jigsaw out soon.
Yeah, and I don't even get out. I can you've got computer jigsaw. So I put the lines that are for the panto I'm in. I've got them going in the background. And I should do the jigsaw. Oh, so much fun.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it is just bringing those little glimmers in, isn't it?
yeah, it definitely is. So while
Well,
Sally,
I've got a
Sally,
question.
yeah, we'll
The
come back
spirit
to that.
guides.
Yeah, we'll come back to that question in a minute.
Okay. Are you going to
Um,
do some cards for us?
well, whilst you were actually talking about the energies, I asked the cards, what energy, what do we need to know for our highest good for this coming month? And it ties in so nicely with what you've been talking about and what Angela was talking about. I feel I want to completely hibernate, and Jane, I've taken myself away to have me time, is
Brilliant,
patience.
Jane.
Archangel Jophiel, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience.
Oh,
Okay, so for this month, what the angels are saying to you is know that all your dreams, your hopes, are coming into fruition now, but you need to be patient with them and patient with yourself. Okay, don't um feel that you have to be rushing things. We are in this hibernation period now. This is the ideal time to have the patience to nurture yourself, to nurture your ideas, to to actually take the time to sit with the information, with the guidance, with your guides, with the angels, with the especially if you're in the north, with the weather, staying inside, keeping nice and cozy and warm, doing that mindful drawing, those jigsaws, reading. I literally in the last month, I practically am reading every day. I'm getting through 1 or 2 books a day. I'm a fast reader anyway, so I go through books very quickly. But it's kind of like taking time for me. And I know that patience, I'm doing the work, but I'm being patient with myself and allowing myself for these ideas to blossom ready into next year. So for those that are watching, if you feel that you want to hibernate, that is absolutely fine. You don't need to go out and do everything to be the life and the soul of everything. You can have the time, you know, you've got the backing. The angels say, have patience with yourself, with others, what's going on in your life this month. You won't regret that patience. Don't force yourself to be doing things that don't make you feel good.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and as Catherine says, like seeds planted, patience, and Jane says, so true. So let's go back to Sandeep's question. Are spirit guides assigned given to you, or do different ones just come in? Can you ask a specific guide to come in? I'll let you answer that one, Sally, because obviously I
Yeah.
work more with angels than a
Okay.
guide.
Yeah, so some spirit guides are assigned and given to us. But if you have a particular thing you want to learn about, you can ask for the right guide who's there for your greatest good. And they're in love and light and for your greatest good, and they will come and help you. And you can ask for the highest vibrational guide available, and they will come and give you the information you need. It can be used kind of like a library of knowledge, if you like. Guides are there, ones you know and ones you don't know, but as long as you ask in love and light and for your greatest good, then you'll get a guide through who can help you with a specific topic. And that works with angels as well,
Oh
doesn't it?
yeah, absolutely with angels. You can literally call on any angel for anything. So if you can't remember an archangel's name, it doesn't matter. You can call on any archangel. They all will give you the answer you need. Just remember they're an archetype. and they can be here, there, and everywhere at the same time.
So the answer is some are assigned and given, but you can ask for different ones to come in. So it's a mixture of both. I wouldn't ask for a specific name of a guide. I would just ask for the highest available guide to help me with X problem. And yeah, they will come and help. They always love to help. That's why they've chosen their role as being a guide, because that's their role. That's what they want to do.
Yeah,
So I hope that helps, Sandy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they want to help us. It's like angels. If you don't ask, how are they going to help us?
Yeah. I want to pick up on what Jane's saying. She says she's
Yeah,
finding much better for removing expectations to all the crazy Christmas stuff. That's it, isn't it? It's about making life simple and doing what we enjoy and not sacrificing ourselves for oh, I don't know what's going, for I can't think of it, like the fripperies of Christmas,
the commercialism,
the commercialism.
the
That's it.
expectations that
Yeah.
we as humans, that society has put on about what should be a perfect Christmas. Again, it's going into being your own autonomy, your own decision maker, and doing what feels right for you at this time, not what everyone else wants you to do. And Catherine
Yeah.
says, all right, asking for support and guidance does seem key.
Yeah.
Yeah, just know you're never alone. Even if you don't have a human there is always a guide, spirit guide, an angel, or galactic being, whatever. You've always got a team around you. So even if there is no human there, you've got support there for you. Even if all your communications go down, we suddenly have a power outage or something.
I think that'd be brilliant.
You're definitely not alone. You're definitely calling on your guides and the angels then.
Do you know, I would love that if all the power goes down and we just have time. Oh no, I better light my fire and read a book. Oh no,
Yeah. Well,
how tragic for me.
that's if you've got a fire. Otherwise, you have to be lighting a lot of candles to keep warm. Um, Jane says, "I'm picking the bits I love to do." Exactly.
Yeah,
Choose the bits about Christmas that you enjoy doing.
yeah. What brings you joy?
Yeah, absolutely. So, if no one else has got any more questions for us, then Sally and I would love to thank you so much for joining us today for a cup of spirituality. And we've hoped that you have found something meaningful to take away from this episode. But remember, and that's my cat coming in and out of the cat flap. So you see, this is how this is live.
We can't
Uh,
hear it. We can't
oh,
hear it.
oh, good. Okay. Well, we have heard my cat coming in and out, but I'm glad you can't hear it. So remember, this is your community, and we'd love to hear from you. So don't forget to share your thoughts, like this video, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next chat. And Catherine says, and we're always connected to our higher selves and never alone. Absolutely.
That is true,
Um,
Katie.
Thank you, and nice to meet you, Ray. It was lovely meeting you too, Catherine, and for everyone else who did join in with the conversation today, or who joins in after the show's finished and watches the replay. As I said, we will circle back and answer any questions about connecting with spirit guides for anyone who watches the replay. And as I said before, about subscribing to our channels, every time you subscribe, like, share, comment on anything Sally and I do, it really helps get that message out there. You're part of that community, that ripple effect bringing the wisdom, the knowledge, the joy out to people. So, you know, please do share, like, comment as much as you can, because it really does help get those messages out there.
Jane's asking where's the channel.
Oh,
Are we gonna
okay.
set up our own channel for this?
Or no, so basically it's our channels. So both Sally and I have YouTube channels and Facebook pages. So go like, share, and subscribe on those, because they will get the message out, and I will, you know, we will put the links to those in the comments after the show. And of course, you know, don't forget, if you feel called to connect with us personally, then you will find all the details in the description, in the comments. Because obviously both Sally and I are here to support you on your journey, you know, however we can. And the people, you know, who've commented, you know, they're part of this community as well, you know, and they're all there to support you on your journey as well. So have you got any words you want to close with, Sally?
Yeah, I just want to thank you all for coming and just reiterate, as Ray said, that yeah, we are here to support you, and we are trying to build a community. Well, in fact, we're not trying, we're doing it. We're building a
We're doing it.
community. We're on it. And yeah, and if I just want to do a plug for I've got an online meditation group. We're starting back on Sunday, the 5th of January at 7:30. So if anyone's interested in that, we just do a beautiful, gorgeous, relaxing meditation. We get downloads, we get activations, and it's all channeled through on the night, and we get some really powerful stuff. There's a couple of people on here tonight who are members. And yeah, I just want you all to know that you are loved, and we're grateful you are here. Grateful you are here, and grateful you came and watched tonight. And I think our next episode, are we allowed to say that now? Should I say the next?
Yeah.
Yeah, the next episode's going to be, it's going to be monthly, Kathy and everyone. And our next episode we think is going to be the 16th of January. So we'll be able to see you then. But we will advertise it like we did before, and we
Yeah,
ought to put it on our Facebook pages. You can find
exactly.
me at Sally Hart.
And if you get any subjects you want to ask us about that we can
Yeah,
include in
please.
future shows, then please do, you know, let us know. And if you're about tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK time, then I will be going live on Facebook and YouTube, doing a oracle card meditation, a weekend reset. So, you know, do join me on that on YouTube or Facebook. It'll be lovely to see there. And you get to choose the deck of cards that I use, because the card that I pull will be the meditation that you need for the weekend. And you might be in a chance to get a card pulled individually for you as well. But
Amazing.
we'll see that. So Catherine, joyous solstice to
Thanks,
you.
Kathy.
And Merry Christmas for those that are more Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. You are,
Oh, thanks, Angela
yeah,
and
thank you so much.
Jane as well.
Yeah, to everyone who's joined in, and all those that I can see that have been watching but haven't commented. Maybe next time, or you just want to message us privately.
That's
You know,
fine.
as I said, our details will be in the comments and the description after the show. So until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep sipping on that cup of spiritual tea. Take care, everyone. Bye.